get the job done. So that means tonight he's liable to have a quick hook with the starters. And the guy I'd look to see play a lot of minutes tonight is Brandon Bass.
He has been sensational in this series. All right, let's send it over right now to Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, Avery Johnson was looking for a spark from his team, and he hopes a move made by the players yesterday will be enough to give them one. Jason Terry and Juwan Howard were two players, two of the ringleaders who called for and led a players-only practice on Monday. Terry told me it was all a matter of the veterans on this team taking some ownership. He said if the ship is going to go down, the veterans have to do more to try to stop it. Avery Johnson, he loved it. He called it a very positive move. By all accounts, it was a very positive session. Wasn't a gripe fest at all, Matt. Just work.
All right, thank you so much, Pam. Coach, what do you think of that?
Well, again, I think the players showing they're into it, and Avery, I understand him wanting to save their legs, but I think it's a good move for them to take some initiative.
You see our three officials tonight: Dan Crawford in his 24th season, Scott Foster in his 14th, Bill Kennedy in his 10th, and the Hornets control the opening tip. Here is Chris Paul at home against the Mavericks. He has scored 30 points or more in each game as they deliver it to David West in the post.
See, I mean, Byron Scott's going right at that matchup of Dampier guarding David West, the quickness factor.
Yeah, Avery Johnson did tell us that he would have a quick hook tonight, understandably so. Eric Dampier hasn't been a factor in this series. And trying to get him going early. Nice feed from Kidd, unable to finish.
Yeah, he's got to finish that one if he wants to play minutes.
Hornets have never won a 7-game series in franchise history.
Again, West going one-on-one to try and create a shot.
West backing down. Double comes from Terry. Shot clock down to 4. To 3. Page puts it on the floor, pulls up. Shot doesn't go. Chandler keeps it alive. And the length underneath and taps it in.
Well, the whole idea that they're switching the matchup to Nowitzki on Chandler is to keep Nowitzki close to the rim so he can rebound the ball better, but Chandler gets the better of there.
Strong start for the Hornets. They lead this best-of-7 series 3 games to 1. They are the 2nd seed in the West. Dallas the 7th seed. Josh Howard has struggled throughout this series. He loses it. Paul, here's Peja for 3. Too strong.
Well, again, right now, the Mavericks are best when they get in the open court. When they can create fast break points like that right there for Josh Howard, trying to get him off the mark. You saw Avery try to set him up to try and get a good look in the first possession of the game for them as well. Avery's got to find a way to get the guys on his bench and Josh Howard, who shoot the ball poorly, good looks.
Peterson has a good look. Shot doesn't go. For Josh Howard, he is 16 of 59 now after that last made basket in this series.
Again, they try to New Orleans tries to keep Nowitzki off balance by sending Mo Peterson to him before he could even put the ball on the floor.
And a real air ball. Paul, strong move, and he's fouled. Foul is on Terry, and Chris Paul will head to the free throw line. And fast break points. How about that? Tells the story.
Well, 2 things. One, the team that's going to get fast break points, going to get the easy opportunity scores. And obviously for New Orleans, Chris Paul, his ability to put you back on your heels and make plays, number 1 in assists in the playoffs, and his ability to score does the major damage for New Orleans.
Now, another thing that speaks to this series as well, points in the paint. And the New Orleans Hornets are plus 40 overall in their 3 wins. They've outscored the Dallas Mavericks 122 to 80.
Well, again, a lot of those are fast break points that get right to the rim.
Terry, here's Kidd, left open for a 3. They'll need that tonight as Kidd drills it.
Well, Jason's been shooting the ball from three-point land pretty well in this series, and he needs to be more aggressive. That's one of the other aspects of the game for the Mavericks is they need somebody else to be in the scoring besides Nowitzki and Terry.
He's 5 of 10 from downtown in the series. West goes strong. Dampier commits the foul on the floor. Dan Crawford with the whistle and the call.
Well, again, Kidd's man helps against penetration by Terry. A nice pass by Terry out to Jason with his feet set, and he buries the 3. You know, right now, again, they're changing the matchup back. Dampier can't guard West out on top, so now he's back on Chandler.
Here's Stojakovic. Pulls up. Over Kidd. Shot doesn't go. Howard taps it out. And Chris Paul's going to track it down.
Well, you know, the Mavericks, New Orleans does a great job of that. On balls that come out, they bat it back to their guys in the backcourt.
David West loses the handle and kicked off of the feet of Josh Howard. And it's going to be Hornets basketball with 14 seconds remaining of the shot clock.
It's too bad. It was good defense. Missed opportunity right there for Howard to scoop the ball up and get another fast break opportunity.
Tied at 5 early on in Game 4. Dallas.
New Orleans loves running this play for a dunk.
There it is. Chandler.
They run pick and roll off the elbow with Chris Paul and have the big man on the side. The weak side is loaded up, and they get that play any number of times in a game.
In Game 4, Dallas had a great first quarter. They scored 30 points, but they only scored 54 the rest of the way and shot 36% from the field. And a whistle away from the basketball as Terry is on the floor. And it's on Chandler as we take a look at this.
Side out of bounds play. Again, you see on the right side, everybody is loaded up. Nobody's there to be able to pick up Chandler as a roller. You got to keep the ball back on that same side. You can't let the ball go over the pick.
Chandler had just 2 points in Game 4.
Getting a double team to Nowitzki before he ever puts the ball on the floor, has a chance to look at the basket.
Skip pass, Terry from the corner, shot doesn't go, and Paul out rebounds Kidd.
Again, Paul's got numbers now, and he's got Nowitzki on him. Somebody can break down off the dribble.
And Dirk checks over his shoulder. 4 minutes in now to Game 5. In the corner, Stojakovic from downtown.
Stojakovic shooting 63% coming in tonight. And again, right there, the Mavericks were afraid of that matchup one-on-one, so they tried to load up the defense on the strong side, which left Stojakovic wide open.
He's made 16 threes in the series. Kidd open, jumper good.
I like that. I like him being aggressive. He comes off the screen and roll, nobody there, he buries the jump shot.
Kidd 2 of 2, of course, a flagrant 2 foul in the fourth quarter for Jason Kidd. He was not suspended, obviously, as he plays here in Game 5. West shot doesn't go as he committed that flagrant 2 foul with 7:16 remaining on the clock against Pargo.
Yeah, WWF qualities.
I mean, even Gennaro Pargo said that, hey, I don't want him to get suspended.
No, I think New Orleans handled it the best way. I mean, they said, look, we want to beat you at full strength. We don't want anybody putting any kind of asterisk next to our win.
Yeah, Gennaro Pargo said, hey, we don't want this thing to be tainted. Here's West fading. Shot doesn't go. And Terry tracks it down in the corner.
Again, Terry moving into the starting lineup has been very consistent. Double points every single game.
Third straight game in the starting lineup. And Kidd misses his first one of the night. He's now 2 of 3 from the field.
Still a good look for him. Again, Nowitzki on the switch. They got that ISO.
Here's Peterson for 3.
Well, we know the percentages when he hits a 3, Matt.
When he hits a 3, the Hornets during the regular season won 43 games. And they lead now by 6. Nowitzki over West. Shot doesn't go. Offensive rebound, put back, Jason Kidd.
Well, Kidd is there, he's being strong, he's being aggressive, but right there, if you had a replay of that, Dampier just pushed Chandler, just bent him over underneath the basket and allowed Kidd to get that offensive board.
You know, Kidd has scored 7 of the 9 for the Dallas Mavericks. Nowitzki 0 of 3 from the field. You know, Kidd's not used to getting knocked out of the first round. As Paul, suspended in the air, knocks down the J.
Well, that was great defense by Jason Terry. You can't do anything more than that.
6-point game. They need Josh Howard tonight from the foul line. Gets the roll.
You know, that's a great place to get a shot for a guy that's struggling. Right in front of the rim. He got a friendly bounce from the position of the shot.
He's 2 of 2. Is Howard from the floor, 4 points. Paul turns the corner to Chandler. How do you stop that?
Well, Dirk has got to give more help on top. He's got to see his point guard through on the play. Otherwise, he leaves it up to Dampier to come help, and Chandler goes above the rim for the dunk.
Avery Johnson calls a timeout. Chris Paul 4 assists, and they're on their feet here. Game 5 in New Orleans.
We're getting Chris Paul right here. He makes a nice pass, coming up top for the three-point shot. And then again off the dribble, great defense by Terry. Double clutch, nothing but net.
Again. Dallas is their biggest for offensive options. Stackhouse 27%. And then Josh Howard, this one is a surprising one.
26%.
Yeah.
Well, Jason Kidd's being aggressive tonight. Comes out, he's got 7 points early. Josh Howard's 2 for 2. Again, you know, Avery's challenge here is to get these guys good looks to try and get their percentages up because he needs them. They don't score, they're going home.
And you see tonight, Nowitzki, you know he'll get it rolling. His lowest point total in the series was on Sunday, 22 points.
Well, they're coming at him. They're coming at him right now. They're not letting him get a catch. They're not letting him look.
And checking in, Brandon Bass turns, fires, shot doesn't go. The Baton Rouge, Louisiana native, went to LSU for 2 years before entering the draft and was picked up in the second round by the Hornets, signed as a free agent last summer to Dallas.
Again, they're going to need his defense on West.
He's been their only spark off of the bench, especially now with Terry in the starting lineup. And Josh Howard handles it, along with Bass, Nowitzki, Kidd, and Terry. Guarded by Peterson. Nowitzki picked up by Stojakovic. Rolls hard to the iron, leaves it short, and Paul brings it into the front court.
That's the first opportunity where he's had a chance to go at somebody without a double team.
In rhythm, and the shot short, but West is there.
Well, Nowitzki was late getting back into the defense because he fell down on the shot.
Right now, Dallas not playing as though they are in a Game 5 facing elimination as they trail by 8. Howard. And a whistle and a foul. Foul on Peterson.
Well, right here, you know, he should be going right away, which he does. As soon as he got Stojakovic, a smaller guy on him, he gets him to the rim. And, you know, Dirk's going to finish that shot 9 out of 10 times. But as he goes down, defensively, he doesn't get back, and they score at the other end.
Nowitzki to start 0 of 4 from the floor. But he has been their one offensive weapon throughout this series as Stackhouse checks in for Terry.
Well, Avery Johnson is now going to try and stagger his point guard so he doesn't have Jason Kidd or Terry off the floor at any time tonight.
Under 4 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter of Game 5. Nowitzki, here comes a double. Josh Howard on the drive.
And that's what he does so well. He's a slasher. He's a guy that takes you off the dribble, uses his athleticism, gets to the rim, and gets to the free throw line.
Six-point game. Hornets up 19-13. Chandler. Stackhouse denying Stojakovic down low. Stojakovic pops out now into the lane. Fading. Shot short. Howard claims it.
Again, nice rebound coming in. He wanted to push it out to the fast break opportunities.
Nowitzki typically would shoot that shot, didn't, and turns it over.
Well, he saw the cutter coming in from the corner, but it wasn't as open as he thought.
And leads to that right there.
And again, once Chris Paul gets the ball in the open court with numbers, he's just such a great finisher.
And Josh Howard, a solid start, 3 of 3. Kidd, 3 of 4, but the rest of the starters, no field goal.
Well, Howard, again, being very aggressive and active right here to start the game. 3 for 3, gets on the take. And then Chris Paul, he gets everybody back on their heels, and he gets that mid-range game that he's developed so well. Nice finish there.
Peterson out with his second, and Bonzi Wells checks in.
Well, Dirk's got Paul on him right now. He's got to find a way to get him to the rim.
Here's Kidd. Doesn't go. One and done for Dallas as Chandler handles the rebound.
They're not doing a good job of recognizing their mismatches at times. Their guys with mismatches have to be more vocal to let their guys know what the ball. Hey, I've got a little right here. Everybody clear out. Let me take him down the post.
Here's David West. The repost. Brandon Bass on him, a former teammate. That's the foul.
West has been so tough in this series. I mean, I know he's an all-star, but he's much underrated. He gets to the free throw line, he takes you off the dribble, and he's deadly from 17, 18 feet.
He has 6 points, and when we return, he'll be at the free throw line. The repost.
Again, what I love so much is his aggressiveness throughout this whole series has just been terrific.
It's time now for our Gatorade Around the Cooler report. Here's Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, Matt, the Mavs needed all hands on deck, so it was an enormous relief for them when Jason Kidd avoided being suspended by the league. It was, of course, that hard foul on Hornets guard Jannero Pargo in Game 4 that truly has been forgiven by all, including Pargo himself. Pargo told me before the game, this is the playoffs. You expect hard fouls, and he did not think that Kidd was trying to hurt him. He respects the level of Kidd's play, and he respects him as a player, so truly all is forgiven. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Pam. And they need him tonight, and he has been their one lone spark. He's delivered 7 points. Josh Howard has 6. They're the only 2 to score, as you see Jannero Pargo at a huge Game 3 in that loss, of playoff career best 30-point performance. West at the free throw line.
Well, he's been great. They've been terrific all across the board. Pick and rolls, low post, three-point shooting, bench play. Now the Mavericks have to respond here tonight.
Howard, Bass, Kidd, Nowitzki, and Stackhouse. Nowitzki, a slow start, 0 of 4. Spinning, tough shot, high off the window.
Wow, that was a great shot because that was great defense. What Avery tried to do there is give Nowitzki an isolation at the top where if any bigger double team's going to come, he's got plenty of room to see it.
West trying to battle with Bass.
Got to rotate to
pop.
him. You got to rotate to him. That's as good as a layup. When he shoots that shot, you can just count on it.
Now, pick and pop with David West, the All-Star, 3-time Atlantic 10 Player of the Year. Xavier Stackhouse, a wide open lane.
One of the few times New Orleans defensively didn't respond to the dribble penetration.
And we talked to Byron Scott prior to the start of the game and how it's just human nature, Coach, when you're up 3-1, especially a group of young players, but they've responded coming out of the Hornets.
No, they have. First thing is come out and play aggressive defensively, run the floor, move the ball.
Here's Paul, it's a 3, and it pops out.
And they've done that. You know, I mean, they've really gotten their crowd into this game early. They distributed the ball. They've got a lot of guys on the board who've scored already. Good team play.
Howard looking impressive to start. He's 4-4.
Well, the one thing, though, New Orleans hasn't done a very good job. Josh Howard hasn't shot the ball at all. They've let him get to the rim for 4 straight buckets.
He has 3 layups, 4-4 from the field, 8 points and 4 rebounds, and a foul. As they lead by 7. And the first on Howard.
Well, again, right there, I'd make him be a shooter. You can't get up on him, let him take the ball to the rim. He's got, you know, I think on all 4 scores, he's had point-blank shots right at the rim.
You know, coming in, Howard shooting just 25% in the series, averaging 12.8 points, and that's because he's been able to get to the free throw line, although he did not attempt a free throw in Game 4, and a foul once again. And it's a second straight on Howard, something you don't want to see with the way that he has started.
Well, again, they're being smart. New Orleans going at him into the low post, trying to get him in that quick second foul.
All right, let's send it over to Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. Ernie? All right, thank you very much. They responded, did the Pistons, in the second half on Sunday night in Philadelphia against the young Sixers.
Well, they were ignited by 3 3-pointers off the pick and roll at the top by Rasheed Wallace.
The technical foul on Rasheed right at the end of the first half, and then he came out and drilled those 3 big threes. 9-point game. Nowitzki wants it.
He's trying to get that ISO up high where you can see double teams coming.
Here comes a double. Terry. Shot clock down. The 3 is good.
See, Dirk made a nice decision right there. The double team came off of Terry's guy. He moved the ball quickly to Terry. Rotation up out of the corner was a little bit late.
Dallas has made 5 of their last 6 shots. Slight differential, game clock, shot clock. Bonzi comes over.
They're trying to do is small pick and roll, get the switch, and trying to get Bonzi in the low post with a better matchup.
Julian Wright. Not the shot that they wanted. The Hornets lead here in Game 5 by 6, and for the Mavericks, you know, looking for Howard to step up, and Kidd and Stackhouse, and they have. They just need Nowitzki to join the crew.
Well, again, New Orleans trying to take him away by early double teams, not letting him get good looks.
Mavs trail by 6 as we head to the second quarter of Game 5.
Hey, man, straight up, put them in. And real talk, man, it has been a journey. All right, we not me. Each and every last one of y'all have gained confidence from being here. Take that, man. Use it when you have to.
Get out.
That's real talk to all y'all. So we're gonna go brotherhood on 3, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Brings you the coach's corner. Here's Pam moments ago.
Avery, you wanted to simplify some things offensively. How do you think that's playing out now, and how do you think it'll play out later on in this game?
Well, early on, we missed a couple of our shots, but we got going a little bit at the end of the first quarter. Now our defense have to significantly improve.
Josh Howard off to a much better start. Is that encouraging for you?
Yeah, I was just hope that he wouldn't have gotten that second foul, but we'll bring him back and hopefully be able to protect him a little bit and keep him out of foul trouble.
Thanks, Avery.
Okay.
Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Josh Howard picked up 2 fouls. Great start for him. 4 8 points, 4 rebounds. And in talking to Avery Johnson, he said, hey, no matter how we start, yeah, we started great in Game 4. We have to finish strong. We've been unable to do that in this series.
Well, it's been true. They've lost 7 out of 8 quarters in this series, in the second half.
And a whistle and a foul. And it is on Stojakovic. It is his first in this 6-point game.
Again, the isolation at the top. They go to that again with Nowitzki, trying to keep him where double team's going to be hard to get to.
Wright, Hilton, Armstrong, Stojakovic, Wells, and Gennaro Parker on the floor. Here's Nowitzki. Tough shot counted.
Well, he's got a lot of length on Stojakovic, and he's being aggressive to go at him after picking up that last foul.
No Chris Paul on the floor for the Hornets. And the Dallas Mavericks taking advantage of that. He had 5.7 assists, no turnovers, and a steal in the first quarter. And Jerry Stackhouse is going to be called for the foul, the veteran. As Julian Wright shows his quickness.
Again, here goes Dirk trying to get him isolated right up top. Again, goes aggressively right at Stojakovic and uses his length to get the shot over the top.
Kidd, Terry, Bass, Nowitzki, and Stackhouse on the floor. Down low in the post, Bonzi Wells. Double times, Julian Wright slices to the bucket.
Nice play by Bonzi Wells off the double team to make that read. Basically, they put him in a wishbone. They stretched the middle man, which was Stackhouse.
The rookie out of Kansas.
Again, ISO at the top for Dirk. Stojakovic playing that left hand, trying to make him go right.
Shot clock down to 7. Stackhouse in the corner. It's a 3. No, tapped out. Brandon Bass.
Again, that's what he's been doing very well for them in the series, gaining extra possessions.
Averaging close to 12 points and 6.5 rebounds in 24 minutes of action. You would expect his minutes to go way up here in Game 5 with the way that he has played. And a defensive 3-second violation. And Nowitzki heads to the line.
Oh, this great double team right here, looking on the backside. Wright goes underneath the rim, and Stackhouse got stuck guarding the big fella in the middle of the paint. Again, we call that putting a guy in a wishbone. You know, basically, you try and stretch him. He's got to make a decision on guarding one guy or the other. And Armstrong was right at the dots, and he had to guard him first.
That was the first free throw by the Mavericks. Nowitzki now with 5 points. Here's Stackhouse. Shot clock down once again, and Dallas turns it over.
Dirk had cargo on him. You've got to get him the ball.
They have not been able to recognize the mismatches and the matchups. And a turnover as Julian Wright turns it over, and it's going to be Dallas basketball. First New Orleans turnover of the game for the NBA Coach of the Year, Byron Scott.
Again, pick and roll with Dirk and Jason Terry.
Terry turns a corner. Here's Kidd. Shot clock at 10. Kidd. Shot doesn't go. Bass once again, an offensive rebound.
The kid's much better with his feet set as far as shooting the ball or coming off from the inside a little bit closer.
The cut right there. Kidd lays it up and in. Great recognition that time by Nowitzki.
Yeah, again, Dirk in the middle of the floor. Double team comes, and he's able to see over the top and make a nice play.
It's a three-point game here in Game 5, and Dallas facing first-round elimination. They were eliminated last year in the first round by the 8th seed, Golden State. Pargo
did a nice job of turning that corner and being aggressive, making a shot underneath the other side of the rim. Used the rim right there to protect himself from the defender.
5-point game. Kidd using Nowitzki. Shot clock at 7.
They got to come double team right now. He's going to get this off easy.
No double team. And Nowitzki goes right in.
Again, when they recognize those mismatches and he's aggressive, when he knows what to do when he gets it, they just haven't been able to get it to him.
Have you seen that before, maybe?
Unfortunately.
Couple times, maybe?
A few times. In the open court.
Here's Stackhouse, and he gets held by Pargo, and it goes.
What a great finish. I mean, Pargo did everything. He wrapped him up, just wasn't strong enough to keep the ball from getting up to the rim.
Does this energize the Dallas Mavericks as they trail by 3? Nowitzki down low in the post.
Again, Dirk, no double team he sees. He's aggressive. He loves to go left and shoot that ball over the top of the smaller player. And Pargo in the pick and roll gets all the way to the rim and uses the reverse dribble to finish. Great job there.
And you can hit him from wherever you're sitting.
The city has just made a tremendous turnaround, and the Hornets have been a tremendous part of that.
The Hornets definitely brought up the morale of the city.
It's reciprocal between the way the Hornets are playing and the way the city has responded.
Real nice to have something to cheer about that's positive.
It really just brings the whole city together.
As a fan, I'm delighted because I love the NBA.
And it's just a good feeling. It just represents, again, what a fun and invigorating and exciting city we are.
Go Hornets!
This is great to see here in this jewel of a city that has gone through way too much of the devastation by Katrina. And they have sold out now 9 consecutive games. And folks typically talk a lot about the New Orleans Saints here and the LSU Tigers, understandably so. Talking about the New Orleans Hornets and NBA basketball. Just bringing a great feeling to this beautiful city. And it's tied now at 32 with 8:32 to go here in the first half underneath. Shot doesn't go for Bonzi Wells.
Good job coming over defensively on the double team from the backside.
Stackhouse has played well off of the bench. Here's Nowitzki, and Nowitzki rolling. And let's send it over to Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, Matt, interesting huddle by the Hornets in that last timeout. Byron Scott encouraged his team to just slow down and relax. There was some discussion of preventing all those Dallas mismatches that Coach has been pointing out all night. Scott said, we're also at home. We cannot afford to turn the ball over. Please just don't turn over the ball. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Wells has picked up his first. Terry driving, blows a layup, tapped by Bass out of bounds. It's going to be New Orleans basketball. He has been so active over the last 7 minutes. Dallas is 8 of 12 from the floor, and Bass has got back 2 of those 4 misses, and he almost had one there.
Well, and Dallas is 14 points against 4-4 of New Orleans in the paint, a +10, which is a big stat in the series.
Tied at 32, Pargo, and he is fouled. It's on Jason Terry. Hornets ball side out of bounds.
Well, on that play right there, you know, the trip was called on Bass, and I think that he may have just stumbled over his own feet.
Chris Paul checks back in.
Again, Dallas going to try and play bigger on Paul right here with Howard, who is in foul trouble, though. That's going to be an interesting part of the matchup. With Pargo and Terry in the post right now.
Howard, Nowitzki, Stackhouse, Bass, and Terry. Howard with 2 fouls. Paul, Chandler, Pargo, West, and Bonzi Wells.
Getting the switch by Nowitzki. Paul backs him up. Again, Chandler doing his offensive rebounding thing where he just taps the ball out.
Averaging 4 offensive rebounds in this series. Nice cut. And Bonzi Wells unable to finish underneath as he gets tripped up. And the Mavericks come racing down. Nowitzki, this is a 3. No.
Again, and Dirk usually likes that shot. He likes walking into that three-point shot, right wing and top. Again, switch on the pick and roll, going to the mismatch with West and Stackhouse.
West, the double comes. Paul thought about it. Pargo, this is a three. Drills it.
Great vision by Chris Paul. The rotation went out to the weak side, and Pargo doubled back to the strong side, was wide open.
Chris Paul already, coach, with 8 assists, and Pargo shooting 41% of the series from beyond the arc.
He's giving him a great lift off the bench.
Terry stripped by Pargo on the floor. Loses it. Paul comes away with it.
Does a great job of just exploring and making the right read. Layup time.
And look at how the game changes with Chris Paul back on the floor after getting rest.
You know, the thing that he does so well, though, is he just has the patience to wait for the play to develop. He waited for West to get to that spot where he just knocks down easy jumper. Great low post position for Jerry Stackhouse against a smaller guard in the paint.
Stackhouse coming in, averaging just 5 points. He's bested that already. West, tough shot doesn't fall, and Nowitzki takes it.
West has done a pretty good job of using his strength down there to not let West get good deep position.
Stackhouse wants it on the mismatch down low.
Good call. They've got to find it. Oh, and great save. Stackhouse, all he had to do is protect the ball right there, and he's got an easy layup or a dunk.
Has a couple of pleasantries with Bill Kennedy. 37-34 with 5:56 remaining. And following our game, of course, stay tuned for Game 2, NBA playoff doubleheader from San Antonio. It's the Suns and the Spurs. Spurs lead 3-1. Camera presented by BMW's X6, a coupe above.
Well, you got Chris Paul up top. He's got great vision. He's got the ball up here, and then he's looking at the man underneath the rim as the play develops. Kick out, and now he looks off the defender. They go weak side, and he finds Pargo wide open in the strong side corner for a three-point shot.
As the locals say, yeah, you're right. The assist leaders in the playoffs, and Chris Paul with 9 assists. There's 6 remaining here in the second quarter. Kid, Stackhouse.
Again, you know, when a guy gets easy buckets around the basket, it's like a sharp taste in blood. All of a sudden, they become back to the score. Get that confidence back in a hurry. Stackhouse he's got smaller guys on him every time down the floor now.
And he's got to chase Pargo around here. Under 10 of the shot clock. Pargo. At 7 over Stackhouse.
Wow, he did a great job there. Pargo with his quickness just froze Stackhouse and made the jump shot for about 17.
And Pargo has 7 points.
Chris Paul in the low post guarding Stackhouse. That's a tough matchup.
7 points in 7 minutes. Here's Stackhouse. Paul's on him.
I like the Mavericks going to this.
And, of course, Chris Paul led the NBA in steals. Last touch by Stackhouse, and it's going to be New Orleans ball.
Again, Stackhouse just has to be strong, keep the space, keep him off him. Just back him in, turn around quickly, and just shoot the shot right over.
West gives it back. Chris Paul driving. Chandler.
Wow, what a pass. Great vision. He waits for he's so calm out there. Just waits for the defender to come, and he makes the easy play.
As Byron Scott told us, he just makes everybody better. Look at David West. He's an all-star. Tyson Chandler averages a double-double. Stojakovic, career best in three-point shooting during the regular season, 44%. Nowitzki, and a foul. And you see Stackhouse and Chris Paul with some words.
Well, again, what happens is a lot of times when you post up a little guy, they take it personally. They start trying to be overly physical down the low post. So Paul is trying to go at Stackhouse to show him, hey, I got some toughness here.
And you see Chris Paul explaining to Scott Foster, hey, I got an elbow.
Well, right there is where he swings the elbow and catches him in the lip. Again, you know, Paul is going to try and use his body, use his strength to try and get a lower center of gravity. And Stackhouse is going to try and go at him.
41-36. Double technical is called. Stackhouse and Chris Paul.
You know, that last possession by Nowitzki, West really did a good job of forcing him to go to his right, and he actually came back, and I thought he would have had a good block if he fouled him down below on the waist.
Nowitzki at the free throw line in the bonus situation. First doesn't go.
Again, Paul taking it to the rim, hang time, and finds Chandler wide open when Dirk Nowitzki comes to help. He makes these hard plays look so easy.
He's such a special talent. And, you know, hard to believe when he was coming out of high school, people that went and watched him play thought, I don't know about his size. He ended up playing, of course, at Wake Forest. And look at what he's done with this franchise. David West, kick out, Paul. Got it.
That's great right there. When you get that in and out game, Brandon Bass has done a nice job down the low post and keeping West from getting deep position where he has to put him on the floor. When the double team comes, West unselfishly kicks it out and gets Paul the wide open three.
Just his second three-pointer in this series. Lead grows. Largest leads, 11 at 7 now. Kidd, shot doesn't fall. Hustling, saves it, but to Paul.
Again, Chris Paul with numbers.
Cut off by Nowitzki. And deflected out of bounds, and it's going to be Hornets basketball.
You know what I like about Paul so much is right now, all he's doing is trying to get his guys into the game. He's passed up probably 5 to 6 shots in the paint that he could have taken to create better shots for his teammates.
You look at the scoring leaders, and pretty much all that is happening through the fingertips of Chris Paul, who has 10 assists and no turnovers, Coach.
Yeah, no, he's just amazing. Getting this pick and roll with the side cleared out again.
He only has 6 turnovers in the series. Fading, Paul, shot no. Chandler, offensive rebound and the putback. And Chandler, active tonight on the glass, has 10 points.
Again, Chandler just waits for his defender to go take a step towards Paul, and he gets a great inside position, and he's so long, he's got great hands for the tip.
Chandler with 8 rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds. Howard, travel.
Yeah, I think that was a good call by the referee. He had to step through, and he took one extra step.
(46-37) in Game 5. Can Dallas stay alive?
Again, they're trying to run that matchup where Dampierre's got to guard West.
Plus the foul.
Again, I just don't think he can guard him one-on-one. Every time they go to that, he has issues.
It's a 16-5 run by the Hornets since Chris Paul re-entered the game.
Again, right here, they kick the ball back to West. He's got that ISO. He backs Dampier in. He shoots a tough shot, fadeaway shot over the top. Nothing but net.
It's the biggest lead for the Hornets. Will the Mavericks go quietly? It's not only their scoring, but also the points off of their assists that were scored by their teammates. And you have Chris Paul. You know, Coach, you were up all night long looking at these numbers, breaking them all down, and you came away with Chris Paul.
Well, it hasn't hurt himself tonight at all. He's got 28 by that formula right now. 10 assists and 8 points.
And he has certainly been sensational at home, not only in this series, but also in the regular season against Dallas. And his numbers tonight, and he's explaining to Jason Kidd exactly that.
Yeah, I'd really like to know that conversation.
West at the free throw line.
Well, again, Avery made the switch, went back to a smaller lineup that was effective for him earlier in the half.
12 to run by the New Orleans Hornets over the last 3 minutes. Howard was 4 for 4 early. He misses his first shot there.
Yeah, I thought he had a step on Stojakovic. He should have taken that ball further to the rim.
Here's Stojakovic, pops out short corner. Shot doesn't go. And Brandon Bass, after that foul by Dampier, Bass quickly back out on the floor. And Avery Johnson talked about how difficult of a matchup it has been, David West, for his team, and the only one that's been able to hang with him is Brandon Bass. Bass takes it to West. Double comes, and Bass is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. And he is 17 of 17 from the free throw line. The NBA playoffs continue Friday on ESPN with games and times still to be determined. And ABC on Sunday with the doubleheader coverage beginning at 12:30 Eastern. The games you'll see are still up in the air as we send it to EJ. Ernie? Thank you very much, Ernie. It's a 10-point game here nearing the 2-minute mark of the first half. West are at 10 of the shot clock.
Two bigs in the pick and roll. They switch it. Pargo comes off with a jumper. That was good defense that time. Again, more mobile with the bigs. They were able to switch that pick and roll.
Nowitzki tears down the rebound. Had 19 in game 3 and their one victory in this series as Nowitzki shot doesn't go. Look at Bass, the only one around. Tries to keep it alive. Can't. Stojakovic.
Oh, that was needed badly by Stojakovic. He was struggling a little bit. Nice job by Pargo to set that three-point shot up.
Shot clock down to 5. Fast shot doesn't go. Pargo and Paul, small backcourt and all. Right now it's 52-39.
Well, again, that mobility and a nice split the pick by Pargo.
And he is fouled.
I think they're calling the foul. They may be calling the foul on Tyson Chandler for pushing the defender into Pargo.
This is moments ago as Pargo is able to hustle and take it away from Bass and Stojakovic.
Did a great job of taking the defense into the paint, giving him the wide open look. Plenty of time to get his feet set and stroke it.
And Crawford, Darren Crawford and Scott Foster come together, and the foul is on Chandler, as you mentioned. With under a minute remaining here in the first half of Game 5 with Dallas facing elimination.
What's really important is for Dallas to close this quarter out strong right here.
It's 52-39. Terry turns the corner. Nowitzki goes up strong, comes down awkward.
Again, Pargo pushing the ball on the break. Loves that step-in jump shot on the move.
Largest lead, 22-7 to run since Chris Paul re-entered the game. Terry can't silence the crowd. Stackhouse pulls it back out, and they'll hold for the final shot here.
Nowitzki's got it. Nowitzki had a point guard on him again. They let the matchup get back to Chandler.
Howard pops out. Nowitzki loses a handle. No call. First half comes to a close. Avery Johnson can't believe it.
Well, their bench is incensed. Usually when that happens, they usually see it pretty clearly. Shot goes up. Dirk rebounds it. Goes to take it back up. I don't know. That's a tough call. I mean, there's a lot of ball. Probably some wrist in there as well.
Let's send it over to Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, Tyson Chandler, Dallas's desperation is clear. How do you put away a desperate team?
I think we just got to stay focused, continue to execute. Right now, we're doing a great job of getting back and building the wall. As long as we keep them in fast breaks, we'll be all right.
Coach was telling you guys during that huddle just to relax, settle down. What was happening with you guys early?
I think we're a little too antsy. We're trying to jump out and get steals instead of just playing solid D and getting back. And, you know, doing great defense execution.
Thanks a lot, Tyson. Appreciate it. All right, coming up after this break, we'll take you to the T-Mobile. Ernie, Kenny, and Charles. Stay tuned.
Your hand if you saw this one coming. You'd be lying. Al Horford and Paul Pierce back at it after the antics in Game 3. Pierce, by the way, fined $25,000 for a menacing gesture. Pierce misses the jumper. Kevin Garnett, the board, misses the bump by Zaza Pachulia, and Garnett and Pachulia go at it. Sam Cassell and Joe Johnson get into it. Other players jumping in, trying to break things up. And you know who's in attendance in Atlanta? Yeah, David Stern is looking on. Pachulia, Garnett, Johnson, Cassell all teed up. Garnett was frustrated. No foul was called. Now, watch it again. So Pachulia then reacts very close to headbutt. Rest of the players in the court step in. Now watch the bench area. That's Marvin Williams. Is that a left foot on the court? Is that Kendrick Perkins? Right foot on the court? At the time of the scuffle, suspensions could be looming. Hawks led 51-48 at halftime. To the fourth, 6.5 left, 3-point game. Johnson, floater over Garnett. Hawks were down 1. 5:20 left, tied at 79. Johnson finds Josh Smith. Smith had 28 and a franchise record 7 blocks. Under 5 minutes remaining. Here's Joe Johnson. Oh, what a crossover on Leon Bowe. Hawks up 5. Up 4, just over 3.5 to go. Johnson driving on Ray Allen. Gets that to go. Part of a 19-4 run. Under 2 minutes left, Hawks up 4. Here's Johnson trying the left side onto side. Got that one too. Had a career playoff by 35. Ensuing Celtics possession. They're down 6. Kevin Garnett, who had 6 steals in the game. James Posey for 3 from Cassell. It was a 3-point game. Now down 4, 36 left. Pierce, no. Hawks not only get the rebound, they get the win. And looky here, the series is all even at 2 games apiece, huh? What? Yeah, you heard me right. The Hawks, who had the worst record of any playoff team, they're also the youngest playoff team. They overcome 2 double-digit deficits to beat a team that won an NBA-leading 66 games during the regular season. Celtics opened with a 16-3 run, yet they were losing after the first quarter 29-24. And even the PA announcer in Atlanta screamed out to the sellout crowd, "It's time to shock the world."
Coming out the huddle, coach was like, you know, I'm putting it on you to get these guys rolling. I just took it upon myself, man, to be aggressive and make plays. Right now, man, we pretty much got the momentum, and we got to act like it.
I'm going to say this, and I told our guys this because I could hear them in the locker room saying, hey, guys, don't worry, we go back home, everything will be okay. And I said, listen, you got to go make it okay. Don't just rely on going home. You got to go make it okay.
Well, who would have thought that the team to close it out down the stretch would not be the guys in green? Joe Johnson scored 20 points in the fourth quarter to help the Hawks even the series. Not bad for a team that lost the first 2 games of the series back in Boston by a combined 42 points.
Lakers, Rich Creamies, a first-round sweep is at hand, and certainly will come when the entire Denver franchise quits, as Carmelo Anthony suggested it did in Game 3. But Marcus Camby got a call from back home in the Nutmeg State. He's from Connecticut. You know, his uncle, he says, my uncle called. He was telling me, remember what Boston did? He was referring to the Red Sox. They were down 0-3, remember? Beat the Yankees. Folks in New England remember that just fine. All right, Carmelo Anthony passed to Kenyon Martin for the dunk. Martin, he's still, look at that, we are ready to go. Nuggets down 6, although they trail by 10 at the half, sticking in it, coming through. Third quarter, 66-57, Anthony, no boy, that didn't go in. That was an alley-oop. Well, it was an alley, the oops right there. Anthony not pleased with that. Fourth quarter, Nuggets down 82-79, offensive rebound, and that's better dunking. There you go. Maybe not as forceful, just make sure it's in the little round orange thing. Anthony, 21 points. Kobe Bryant then, fourth quarter, yeah, mine, all mine. 88 all. Paul Gasol blocked. Kobe got it. And this guy makes tough shots. Kenyon Martin just got abused. Lakers up 2. Kobe. Yeah, I can. Yeah, 3 is easy. We're tied at 90. Kobe then layup and the foul. So he puts his team up 5. Free throw no good. J.R. Smith got the next 6, but Kobe just keeps coming at you. 14 of his 31 in the fourth quarter. Later here, we got a tight game still. Lamar Odom to Luke Walton. 1 3-point attempt for Walton. 1 3-point make. Lakers up 4. And then 101-98. So still very much a chance for the home team. Not anymore. Kobe, the floater. That sinks George Karl's Nuggets. 107-101 is the final. And the series 4-love in favor of the Lakers. Their first sweep of a 4-game series since beating the Nets in the 2002 finals. Kobe Bryant, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Phil Jackson now improves to 15-2 in round 1 of the playoff series. On the other side, 50 wins during the regular season for the Nuggets, but AI and Melo just 8 of 42, not enough. All right, fellas, what do you have to say for yourself? Let's start with Kobe.
It feels good. I think it feels good to win the way that we won today, and it's a big step for us in terms of being able to execute and keep our composure once they made their big run there in the third.
It was evident tonight and throughout this whole series that we got a lot of work to do, and we understand that and we accept that. We got beat by a better team.
There are a number of things I thought we got a little lax on. And, that's human nature to do that. But to come back and establish a win for us, that was important. And now we look forward to our next series.
The Hornets lead Game 5 by 15 moments ago from the Dallas Mavericks locker room.
All right, let's go to work. Here we go. Come on. Getting the bonus first this quarter. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Here we go. Go, man. Let's go. Come on.
24 minutes for Avery Johnson, and when you take a look at the end of the first half, Mike, and one of the things that the Hornets are able to do, they close it out on a 22-7 run.
Well, the thing that the Hornets have done so well, they've had great poise and patience. They've found mismatches and gone to work on them. Dallas hasn't done as good a job of that. There's been times down the floor when Nowitzki's had point guards on him and they've shot quick shots from the outside, or they've had quickness matchups and they haven't taken advantage of them.
All right, let's take a look now at the Jeep game summary. And for the Hornets, shooting 54%. How about the second quarter shooting? A key to that was when Chris Paul re-entered the game.
Well, again, he is just the best at distributing the ball. Obviously, he led the league in assists during the regular season and doing the same thing here in the playoffs. And again, tonight, he's got 11 tonight.
Yeah, and the Dallas Mavericks have 8. Without Paul, the Hornets are -6. With Paul, they're +21.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy has just played at such a high level.
And here are the Dallas Mavericks facing elimination. How did they come out here in the third? Last year, they were in this situation, down 3-1 in Game 5. They forced a Game 6 against Golden State in the first round. They won it 118-113. The difference, they were at home.
Well, if they can force a Game 6 now, they're going to have huge momentum after being down 15 at the half.
No field goals the last 5:44 for the Mavericks. 0-7 during that time. Terry comes out firing, drills the shot.
Again, the double team came to Dirk. He found Jason Kidd underneath the basket, and then double team came to Kidd, and he kicked it out to a wide open Terry. That's a great start for them.
Dallas has lost 8 consecutive playoff road games.
Little pick-to-picker action on West. You got to switch up top. And again, Avery Johnson's gone with that smaller line of putting Bass in there instead of Dampierre.
Chandler blocked from behind. And Bass, a shot clock violation. And Brandon Bass comes down with it, the shot clock violation on the Hornets. But you understand why. As Avery Johnson told us prior to the start of the game, hey, this is a game where you can't worry about guys' feelings. And Brandon Bass has been more athletic. You mentioned that at the top of this telecast as well.
Well, the thing about Bass is he's going to be better in the pick and rolls. He's going to be able to switch pick and rolls with bigs, be able to play guys off the dribble a little bit better.
Kidd. Here's Nowitzki, picked up by West.
Here they come, double team.
Brandon Bass gives it up. Here's Howard. The three doesn't go. On the weak side, tapped away by Kidd, but to Stojakovic. Since starting 4 of 4, Howard 0 of 3. He was slowed by 2 early fouls. Paul, no. Chandler keeps it alive. Bass comes away with it.
Dirk's got to do a better job in that pick and roll, though. He's got to get more help with the point guard through.
Here's Terry for 3. Got it. 2 threes for Terry.
Again, now Byron's got to make sure they get something really good. He'll take a timeout. He's not taking any chances here. He doesn't want them to get off on another run.
And a run to begin the third quarter. It's a 9-point game, 54-45. Jason Terry with a couple of big threes. Ongoing effort to support the rebuilding of New Orleans post-Hurricane Katrina. For the past 3 years, the league has teamed with Habitat for Humanity to build homes for those affected by the storm. Following the completion of the homes, a number of teams invite the new homeowners to games to meet the players who participated in the construction. The NBA, where caring happens. And let's send it over to Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, Matt, Avery Johnson got right down to business when I spoke with him coming out of the locker room. He told me we really got too impatient with our offense in the first half, and he wants to see that settle down. I said, what about from an emotional standpoint? He says, we all get it. We stay in it or right now or we're going to go home. And that last time out, Byron Scott talked to the Hornets about this. He says, don't even think about giving Jason Terry all those wide open looks. He said, we need to settle down right now. Take your time.
All right, thank you very much, Pam. As Terry came out, knocked down 2 big threes. Terry has 9 points.
Again, they're going back to the same look. Nowitzki trying to draw the double team and create the 3-on-2 on the weak side.
Here's Howard driving, and Howard leaves it short.
He's got to finish that shot. That's a great look. Good. They did a nice job of diving Bass, clearing one of the defenders out, creating that wide open situation for Howard.
And Mike, New Orleans 0 of 4 to start the quarter. And Peterson drills the 3, and you look at that swing, leaving it short at one end and then a 3 at the other.
Well, again, a great read by Paul to find Peterson wide open.
Nowitzki goes strong.
Again, he went quick before the double team, before the team could get to him. He took him off the dribble and made a nice finish. Terry going under on the pick and roll by Paul. He decided not to shoot it.
Shot clock down to 5. Paul looks for West. Nowitzki comes over to help, and David West.
Wow, that was very good defense by Dallas. West makes a tough shot.
David West, 7 of 10, has 16 points. Nowitzki. Howard. It's a 2 over West. Shot doesn't go, and Stojakovic handles it.
Basically, New Orleans is not playing Howard from the outside at all right now. You know, he only scored on those takes to the rim in the first half.
Oh, no. Gets bumped. Nowitzki quickly ahead to Bass, has Howard. Stojakovic faked out as Bass slices in and dunks it.
Again, Bass added some energy to the group right here.
As he starts the second half. Instead of air camp here. 10-point game with 8:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Game 5, Dallas fighting to keep this series alive. And Stojakovic throws up a blank. Quickly ahead.
Again, they got numbers again.
Here's Terry. It's a 3. No. Offensive rebound, put back denied. Paul racing. Kidd takes it away. Howard.
Again, the pace of the game suiting the Mavericks right now. Getting up and down, opportunity baskets.
And it's an 8-point game. It was a 15-point halftime lead for the Hornets as Paul slows it down. And Terry's going to get called for the foul. That's his third.
Right now, Nowitzki does a nice job of outletting the pass to Bass. For a big guy who handles the ball and attacks the rim, Stojakovic decides to fake him and stay at home with the man he was defending.
Brandon Bass played in 50 total games in 2 years for New Orleans. Left LSU after his sophomore year. Shot clock down. Stojakovic over Howard. No. Chandler keeps it alive.
Great job by him. It was a tough shot by Stojakovic. And Dallas has got to get those boards.
Chandler a double-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds. And miscommunication there.
Well, the lob was there. Chandler just wasn't ready for it.
West, the laner. 18 for David West.
The difference is a little bit, though, that Dallas has had some easy shots that they've missed, and New Orleans has had some tough shots that they've made.
Nowitzki. Strong move by Dirk Nowitzki, and he has 12 points.
Well, again, Nowitzki's played fired up right now. He's coming out trying to set the tone for this second half.
West fading. Oh. 20 points for David West over Nowitzki.
I mean, these are all tough shots by David West. He's showing his mental toughness right here. He's trying to will his team to win.
Terry doesn't connect. Speaking of willing a team to win, Bass, he gets fouled. Well, David West has reached 20 points in now 4 of the 5 games.
But every one of these shots he's made have been tough. That's well defended right there by Nowitzki along the baseline. Shoots a fadeaway going side out. Then he gets right here, gets the ball, shows and goes, takes the ball to the rim. Well, same look. Tough shot.
23 in game 1, 27 of playoff career best in game 2. Had 14 in the loss. That's when Paul and David West struggled. Combined for 30 points. He was just 6 of 20, but then in game 4 in Dallas, David West 24 points on 10 of 21 shooting. And tonight here in game 5, as the Hornets try to eliminate the Mavericks, 9 of 12 for 20 points. Bass. Perfect 21 of 21 from the free throw line in the series.
Well, he's done a great job of providing energy, defense, and anything else they've needed at this point. But he's got the tough matchup. I mean, West has been so mentally tough and done such a great job. It's going to be a big key if he can quiet him down.
Paul, Terry left on his backside. Shot clock at 7. And clipped by Brandon Bass.
Well, again, Bass is trying to say, I already established my position, and Chris Paul is selling you on this. He's making the contact, drawing the foul.
Dallas Mavericks trail by 8 with 5:50 to go. Avery Johnson telling us that the New Orleans Hornets in each one of the games, they've gotten quicker, stronger, and faster as the game has gone on. And that has been the case, although Dallas trying to fend them off. Stojakovic, great job by Dallas. Shot clock violation.
The kid was smart. He got on Stojakovic. He knows he loves to go left to shoot the ball. He forced him right, and he couldn't get it off.
And a blocking foul on Chandler.
Terry goes to the pick and roll with he and Bass trying to put Chandler in it so they can't switch it. Chandler tried to jump out and take the charge.
And that is his third.
Again, Terry in the pick and roll to try and draw Bass's man into the double team.
Nowitzki.
He loves the corners. He loves the corner threes.
It's a 2. It's an 18-9 quarter in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. Nowitzki has 14. Peterson. Shot doesn't go.
Again, it's a tough shot with no board coverage. That's the shot that Dallas wants.
Here's Dirk. Hustling. West gets it away.
Oh, that was a shot they've got to finish. Just too many easy shots.
63-57 Dallas trying to apply some pressure on New Orleans here in the third quarter as New Orleans tries to close out. It is game 5.
Again, West in the pick and roll, trying to get that short ISO.
Over Bass.
Bass did a nice job defensively again.
Another opportunity here for Dallas to make it a one-possession game. possibly with the 3. This is a 2. And Stojakovic misses 2 times down. Make it Nowitzki.
Oh, good hands there by Terry.
And Nowitzki along the sideline, shoving Peterson. And just some frustration there for Dirk.
Nice no call.
63-57.
Again, they're both going for the ball, but I mean, Dirk gave a little extra on that.
No call with 4 or 5 remaining here in the third quarter.
And Carver just came in the game, giving more offense.
And we see Chandler and Nowitzki getting tied up. Here's Paul.
Great finish by Paul. Fast came over, made it a tough shot. Right now, New Orleans, they're finishing shots that are tough shots. Dallas, on the other hand, they've come back. They've missed some easy shots. Wide open looks.
With under 4 minutes remaining here in this Game 5 in the third quarter. Timeout taken by the Dallas Mavericks. Nowitzki fighting to keep this one alive. Byron Scott as a player with the Los Angeles Lakers. He won 3 titles in 85, 87, and then in 1988. And of course also played with the Indiana Pacers. He went on to lead the New Jersey Nets to 2 NBA final appearances as their head coach in 2002 and 2003. Of the year tonight. The NBA Coach of the Year receiving the Red Auerbach Trophy. The first coach in Hornets history to receive the honor as he led the Hornets to the Southwest Division title and a franchise best record of 56 and 26. And you used to coach him when you were the head coach of the Lakers.
Byron's a great player to have coach. He made everything fundamentally sound, worked so hard, and he's much deserving of this award this year.
Down low, Bass spinning, trying to get around Chandler, contested.
Yeah, he forced that shot. He should have kicked that out. He got 3 guys on him.
In a meeting with Byron Scott before the game, he actually mentioned he used to beat him when you were the coach in shooting. You guys met up a few times. Paul drills the 3.
You gotta watch out for Paul right here as he starts taking over that 3-point shot. He's looking to become more aggressive right now.
And he told us, he goes, Mike used to beat me like I beat my players now. Out shooting them a little bit. Paul has hit a couple of 3s. Here's Kidd. Shot doesn't go. Weak side, Stojakovic. 68-57. Bass battling on the inside. In a crowd, the only one there, the only blue jersey underneath the rim was Brandon Bass.
Oh, he's given such a great effort here. I mean, he's getting extra possessions for them. Defensively, he's doing a nice job. It's been a big part of anything they've done successfully in their games.
At a Capitol High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 8 points, 7 rebounds for Brandon Bass as Nowitzki handles it. Terry up fake by Pargo. And a run now being put together by the Dallas Mavericks as they try to keep their hopes alive. Mark Cuban, the owner, encouraging his team as they trail by 7.
Chris Paul, trying to rub Kidd off in that pick and roll, try and force a switch. He's got a dead ball. Nowitzki done a nice job.
Shot clock down to 4. Stojakovic, step back 3. No. Brandon Bass, but it's tapped right to West.
They've got to come up with those loose balls.
Here's another one, and they do this time.
You got numbers again.
In the corner, Terry. This is a 3. Can't collect.
Paul does a good job of settling down, just waiting for his teammates to get into the flow.
Another missed opportunity by the Dallas Mavericks here in the third quarter. West. Reverse it. And a whistle. Do not count the 3. There's a whistle. 3-second violation on Chandler.
And Bass is willing his way right now. I mean, he's the only guy underneath the basket around 4 white shirts. Goes up and finishes strong.
In game 2, he had 19 points and 8 rebounds. Game 4, he had a dozen. Stackhouse. Here's Nowitzki backing down, cutting his kid. Stackhouse in the corner. This is a 3. Air ball. Bass and a loose ball foul on Chandler. That's going to be his 4th.
Again, Bass using his girth down underneath the basket to move Chandler out to get himself good deep position.
How about the play of Brandon Bass throughout this series? Parenting isn't easy. Watching TV's Funniest Family Is this June, the Bill Engvall Show is back. Catch all new episodes of this true family comedy June 12th at 9, only on TBS. Very funny.
Tyronn Lue coming into the game now to try and give the Mavericks a lift. He's been out with an injury. His quickness and shooting ability could much be used here.
Lower back strain. This is only the 2nd game that he's played in this series. And a stoppage of play with a whistle. And the foul is on Chris Paul, and that is his 2nd. And Terry's going to head to the free throw line.
Well, he's got a chance to cut it to 5. And if they can do the same thing in the next quarter, they'll win this game. Plus 10 in this quarter, plus 10 next quarter. Take it Dallas for game 6.
And it's now a 6-point game, 68-62. Terry gets both, 13 points. He has 10 in the quarter and a 6-0 run now.
New Orleans coming back to that pick and roll with Chandler.
West backing down on Bass. Count it. Bass commits the foul.
You know, West has just been so great. I mean, here you have momentum going against them. Again, he's the guy that's come up with the big hoops this whole second half.
Let's go to Atlanta and Ernie Johnson. EJ? All right, thank you very much as Bass committed his 3rd foul at 71-63. 8-point advantage.
And Dirk with that ISO up top.
Nowitzki 6 of 15 with 14 points. Lue. Shot pops out. West has it taken away. Lue saves it. Terry finds Nowitzki.
He's got the little man on him.
The nice cut. Stackhouse denied by Chandler. Stackhouse and a foul. No foul. No foul.
Great defense by the New Orleans Hornets there.
71-63. The quarter comes to an end.
Dirk makes a nice pass on the cut, and then 3 guys come up and block the last shot.
4th quarter coming up. Dallas playing for their season.
Like I said, we got a game here. We got to defend for these next 12 minutes, and we got to win this quarter. Okay, got to win this quarter. All right, for the floor. Let's go.
Well, Coach, I'm sure you expected nothing less that Dallas would fight to stay in this. How do you think your group is going to respond in this quarter?
Well, I think we'll be fine. You know, we came out, the last thing I said in the locker room was don't come out soft mentally. And I thought we did. They got 2 wide open shots to Jason Terry. So, you know, now we know it's all on the line on this quarter right here, and we got to come out a little bit more aggressive.
You can send 18,000 people home happy. How do you think your young guys are going to handle this quarter?
Well, I think they'll step up to the challenge. I think they're ready for it.
All right, Coach of the Year.
Excuse me?
I said, okay, Coach of the Year.
Thank you so much.
Go. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Pam and Byron. A lottery team the last 3 years. And they are 12 minutes away from advancing to the second round.
See, now you got Josh Howard guarding Chris Paul. Bigger man on him.
West. Shot doesn't go. And taken down by Josh Howard. Howard looks for Stackhouse. Denied by Chandler. Bass keeps it alive.
Again, good hustle, good defense down that end. They gotta come up and put a score on the board.
Here's Terry. Howard. Shot doesn't go.
He hasn't even been close from the outside.
You know, he started 4 of 4 in the first quarter. Since that time, he's 1 of 9, Coach. Paul. Count it.
Again, you can't go under on him. You got to force some help. 17 feet, you can't go under. Just too close. Again, Dirk isolated up the top right in the middle of the floor where you can see the double teams coming and make plays.
They've done a good job on him tonight. Howard gets a teardrop finally.
Well, see, everything he scored has been in the paint. And if he could just knock down some shots from the outside, that would loosen things up.
He has 12 points. Nowitzki has led the Mavericks. 14, Terry with 13. Shot clock at 7. The Hornets utilize the time. Paul, and there's Howard with a rebound.
Again, Stackhouse being guarded by Paul.
Nowitzki gets bumped by Julian Wright, and he'll head to the free throw line. And the first on Julian Wright. And you look back at the third quarter for the Dallas Mavericks, and they shot just 35%. However, when you go back to that, the turnovers, 0.
Well, they're plus 7 points in that quarter because they played solid defense.
24-17.
And that's what's going to win it for them in this quarter if they're going to win this game.
It's a 7-point game. Nowitzki 3 of 5 tonight from the free throw line and 6 of 15 from the floor.
Going to go a little dribble weave action, trying to put Paul and Pargo coming off the screens.
Here's Paul. Shot clock at 5. Now down to 4. Pargo at 2. Launches it 3 and it goes.
Tell you what, it was well defended, but you got to know what Pargo does. He basically puts you back on your heels and he raises up, shoots that jump shot.
He's 2 of 2 from 3-point range. It's a 10-point game. Nowitzki back down, double come, Stackhouse. Shot doesn't go, misses it badly. Nowitzki, a second chance now for the Mavs.
The Mavericks, if they can just get anybody to make shots from the outside, can loosen his defense up.
And a turnover, right. Pargo.
Yeah, they made a bad decision right there. Instead of coming to the strong side with Stackhouse being guarded by Chris Paul, he could have had something nice.
Pargo 6 of 7 from the field. 14 points to 3 there. More Gennaro Pargo coming your way. And the Hornets lead here in Game 5.
I think it's just been fabulous. But I love them so much. It added another feeling to bring New Orleans back because a lot of people hadn't been back yet, but now the Hornets are winning.
It's given us something to look forward to.
Hornets look like they're doing it. We got a coach of the year.
They've brought back the people and the hope and everything that we've needed to rebuild the city.
After coming back, they really showed that New Orleans is back, not just the team.
It's almost like Mardi Gras down here.
Well, we are in the middle of Jazz Fest, 4 days off, and of course history could be made tonight. Speaking of Jazz, the Utah Jazz, they never advanced to the postseason, and the Hornets right now, you see what they have done in the postseason prior to tonight. The Hornets have never won a 7-game series in franchise history. And the last time that they won a first-round series was back in 2002, and they went on to lose to Byron Scott and his Nets in the semis. George Shinn, the owner of the New Orleans Hornets, and of course he has engaged his entire team into this community, into the fabric of this community, and they have sold out now 9 consecutive games, and it is just great to see in this city that needs something to cheer about.
Well, no question about it. I mean, this team has been embraced by the city. A football city. They're now a basketball city.
Brandon Bass.
Avery Johnson did, come out of that timeout, just sent Bass up with an isolation from the top, took West off the dribble and got to the free throw line.
There's time left, but Dallas has not capitalized on their opportunities throughout the course of this game. David West has been sensational. 23 points. Double comes right, gives it up. Pargo, no.
Terry did a good job of not rotating up to right, just staying at home with Pargo.
Stackhouse. Here's Nowitzki with West on him.
Again, they come double team before he even has a chance to put the ball on the floor.
Nowitzki once again fading. Shot doesn't fall. And he's made just 6 field goals tonight.
Well, he's so hurried on his shots because he knows they're coming on double teams.
And a foul on Dirk Nowitzki. As Julian Wright was making a move underneath.
Again, right here, nice move by Paul down the middle. Sweet pass here to Wright. Wright comes across the middle. He's got a chance. He gets foul going on, and he makes the extra pass. Wright's a pretty skilled player.
Rookie out of Kansas. Chandler denied up top. Guess who? Brandon Bass. The Hornets connect.
When Mavericks are playing good defense, the Hornets are still coming up with big plays. Chris Paul, David West, both guys just willing their team to win here.
Chris Paul, 17 points and 15 assists. Turnover. And Wright is fouled.
Again, great defense. Steals guy, Chris Paul, #1 in the league.
7:36 remaining here in Game 5, and Dallas facing elimination. And Byron Scott has done an outstanding job with his young team.
Great. This is that lob play they've been running. Bass reads it, comes over, makes a great play on the ball. But then the ball goes to Chris Paul, and he just bangs down a shot along the baseline.
Julian Wright, 1 of 2 from the free throw line in the series. And the first one goes as George will give Bass a break. Bass, 9 points and 8 rebounds, so active in his 32 minutes. It's the most that he's played in this series. As Wright is at the free throw line, it's 81-67. And of course, immediately following us, it's Game 5, San Antonio, as they look to close it out against the Phoenix Suns, who try to extend that series. The same predicament as the Dallas Mavericks, and the Mavericks just haven't responded. Nowitzki denied underneath.
Great defense by New Orleans to come smother Dirk on the drive.
The Dallas Mavericks trying to avoid first-round elimination for the 2nd consecutive year. And if they do, what will that bring to this team? Shot clock at 7. Nice cut. Jannero Pargo.
Again, West, they get a lot of double coverage. He's out on the floor. He knows they're only going to come double. He puts the ball on the floor. He looks for the weak side and finds a nice cut by Jannero Pargo for 2 points.
They're up, Mo. They're up. It's an 11-1 New Orleans run since it was 73-66. Nowitzki denied. The Hornets looking to move on. Thank you so much, Ernie. Dallas shooting just 38% for the game, and the New Orleans Hornets 49%.
Well, that's been the story of the series. I mean, New Orleans defense has been really solid, and they've been shooting around 50% on the series.
Dallas in the quarter, Mike, just 1 field goal, 2 free throws, 2 turnovers. They've been outscored 13-4.
You know, and a lot of the looks they've had have been wide open looks. They just haven't been able to bang down any of the wide open threes they've had, and some of the other shorter shots as well.
.6:35 to go. Stackhouse, an air ball.
That has to be like the 5th air ball or bank shot, you know, that wasn't called a bank by the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, Stackhouse was productive early. And for the New Orleans Hornets, they're looking to advance to the semis for the first time since they switched over to the Western Conference. And living here in New Orleans as well, as Stojakovic's shot doesn't go. And Devin George drills the 3. Makes it a 14-point game.
Well, that's what the Mavericks need. They need somebody who can space the floor because of the double teams coming at Dirk.
Well, they need a lot of it in a hurry with the way that Chris Paul handles the basketball and his ability to use the clock. He has 15 assists and no turnovers tonight.
No, he's just a great decision-maker.
And there's a great decision as West finds Julian Wright.
And the double team coming early to West before he puts the ball down the floor. And New Orleans did a nice job of spacing the floor to get the easy bucket.
Jason Kidd with the strong move. The last time that he was knocked out of the first round was when he was with the Nets, and Miami swept him in 2005. He's advanced beyond the first round of the NBA playoffs in 5 of the last 6 years. He's not used to being in this situation.
Again, West in the post, going to a front. They got to put more ball pressure on Chris Paul when he's got a guy in the post fronted.
Pargo fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 3. And let's send it over to Pam Oliver. Pam?
Well, guys, just a note on Gennaro Pargo. He's clearly been huge for the Hornets during the postseason. And when I talked to him before the game, well, he explained why that may be. He said he's been coming in early and leaving late, getting extra shooting work. He knew the Hornets would need some help off the bench during the postseason, and he wanted to be ready. He's been awfully good for New Orleans during the series.
He really has, including a Game 3 performance of 30 points. He had 11 in Game 4 in his 6th year out of Arkansas, signed as an undrafted free agent by the Lakers back in 2002. From complete replays of Inside the NBA to exclusive interviews with NBA superstars to the best analysis anywhere on the web, visit TNT Overtime at NBA.com, where 40 games and 40 nights lives every day and every night.
You know, Pargo's great shooting in this game set up that 3-point, those free throws right there. He just up fake, he got Kidd in the air, and he jumped in.
The quickness not only at the point guard position, but you also put Pargo in there. Both Paul and Pargo can handle Nowitzki, and he is fouled going strong to the hole. But just the quickness at every position has really stood out in every game of the series.
Again, Dirk does a good job putting the ball on the floor right and attacking the rim, and Wright comes over and says, you know what, I'm going to put him down. Hard foul, no layups.
Nowitzki just 6 of 17 from the field here in Game 5. And 4 of 6 now from the free throw line. And this is a Game 5 performance. With Dallas, you will shake your head, and talking to Avery Johnson, he said, you know, look, we've been unable all season long to sustain anything that we've been able to do. You know, you go back to Game 4, put up 30 points in the first quarter, and the inability to have any consistency and the ability to sustain that aggression. They haven't been able to do that.
Well, it's hard if you can't stretch a defense, which they haven't been able to do. They have not been able to consistently knock down open shots. If you can't do that, you're going to be in big trouble.
Shot clock down to 2. West offensive rebound or a shot clock violation. Avery Johnson calls a shot clock violation, as does Bill Kennedy. You know, the other thing, too, as you know, Coach, everybody's going to look back at the Jason Kidd trade. You know, everybody looks back at that, the reaction of Shaquille O'Neal going to Phoenix, and here Phoenix is in a situation where they're down 3 games to 1. And, of course, Dallas down 3-1 with 4:15 to go.
Well, it's not the easiest thing in the world to integrate guys late in the season.
Plus the foul. Will that energize Dallas with 4:10 to go?
So Devin George is giving him a nice lift. Hits an open three-pointer from the corner. Now he's got a three-point opportunity on the cut. Hard hit at the basket.
And, of course, Devin George, who held up that Jason Kidd trade for a while, refusing to go, and then the deal got done with the help of Keith Van Horn. And you see the leading scorers for the Dallas Mavericks.
Uncharacteristically, Dallas has missed some free throws here in the fourth quarter.
They are 13 of 17 from the free throw line. New Orleans 9 of 11.
In weak side, they try to set up a flare for Pargo.
Here's Chris Paul. Good.
Such a nightmare for anybody without quickness to have to guard him.
Stackhouse the other way.
It's one of the few defensive lapses we've seen on the night by New Orleans. After a bucket scored, Dallas was able to advance the ball up the sideline and attack the rim.
Chris Paul is a rebound away from a triple-double. He has 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 15 assists, no turnovers. West. And he is fouled by Devin George.
Again, that was a hard foul. Once George got up in the air, he knew he was in trouble. He came down hard, so West couldn't make the finish.
With 3:19 remaining, it's 89-78, and West to the free throw line. The NBA playoffs continue Friday on ESPN with games and times to be determined. And ABC on Sunday with doubleheader coverage beginning at 12:30 Eastern. The games you'll see are still up in the air.
You know, I don't know if any other pair in this league. I mean, when you can put these two guys up against anybody. Chris Paul, West, pick and roll, low post, one-on-ones. They have just been terrific.
Chris Paul, the 2006 Rookie of the Year in his third year out of Wake Forest. David West, first-time All-Star, 27 years of age, in his fifth year out of Xavier, where he was a three-time Atlantic 10 Player of the Year. And successful from the free throw line. 10 of 16 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line. 25 points for David West. Kidd. Good with the three.
Nice job by Terry of taking the ball on the baseline, drawing two defenders and kicking it to Kidd. You know, he's a much better shooter when he's sitting, standing still, feet set, the three-point line.
As a Maverick, he shot 46% from three-point range. It's a 10-point game. With under 3 minutes to go, and Chris Paul has made 6 of his last 7 shots, and they've been all great looks.
I don't think Dirk could sit that far back in the paint and let Paul get in that deep. He's got to get up a little bit higher to give some help.
Dirk Nowitzki bangs the three.
Well, again, this is what they've needed all game long. Maybe too little, too late.
With under 2:30 to go, Nowitzki now with 20 points on 7 of 18 shooting. And you see Avery Johnson telling Devin George to come out. Redirects Paul. Shot clock down to 5. Chris Paul. Crossover. Paul pulls back. Got it. Chris Paul.
He's so great. He's got that low center of gravity that once he puts a speed move on, backs up the big guy and is able to pull up and shoot the nice jumper.
He's had a double-double in all but one of these games in this series. Devin George left open the three.
Wow, George is coming in and giving him a nice lift.
It is an 8-point game, but there's less than 2 minutes to go. Pressure on Paul and a foul. It is on Stackhouse. And Stackhouse knocks the ball away from Chris Paul. And a technical. Timeout on the floor. Technical foul on Jerry Stackhouse as he had words with David West.
Well, what really happened was he's knocked the ball out of Paul's hands after the whistle for no reason. Paul complained about it. I think the referee was going to let it go if Stackhouse just continued to walk to the bench. But when Stackhouse turned back around and engaged West, he hit him with the tee.
That is his second with 1:47 remaining in the fourth quarter.
See right there, had a chance right there to knock the ball around out of his hand right there. That's what Paul's complaining about. When West comes over and says something to him, and Stackhouse turns around, and next thing you know, ejection time.
Oh, Chris Paul. Big time stuff. Let's take a look at our Marines teamwork play of the game, Coach.
Well, again, West in the low post, sits, waits on the double teams, takes a look. Pargo makes a nice cut from the weak side. Dirk Nowitzki doesn't see him coming soon enough to come over and contest the shot.
How efficient. Gennaro Pargo, 7 of 9, 17 points coming off of the bench. With 1:47 remaining, Stojakovic will shoot the technical foul on Jerry Stackhouse. That's his second, and so he is done with 1:47 to go. And Stojakovic at the free throw line. He led the NBA free throw shooting, and it's good.
Stackhouse out, Brandon Bass back.
Along with George, Terry, Nowitzki, and Kidd. And here's Paul to the free throw line. In a bonus situation, and the chance of MVP ring out here in New Orleans. And let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Ernie. We look forward to that as they get the clock situation straightened out. By the way, the Hornets against San Antonio this year, 2-2. And when you look at their wins, they were pretty big. 102-78 at San Antonio back on January 26th. And then on March 12th, they won at 100-75. Against Phoenix this year, they swept the Suns.
Wonder who they're pulling for.
San Antonio and Phoenix to follow us, Game 5. Dallas with Nowitzki going to the bucket. It's an 8-point game with 1:30 to go. Pargo high off the window, and he is fouled. And you look at the Dallas Mavericks. This is a team that a year ago won a franchise record 67 games. This year, 51-31. They were knocked out of the first round a year ago by Golden State as a top seed, and here they are, the 7th seed, and they face elimination. They trail with 1:25 remaining, and there's so much speculation about Avery Johnson, his job, and I asked him when we met with him earlier about his job security. He said, listen, I can look in the mirror and say to myself that I am not ashamed, and we shouldn't be ashamed of anything that we have done here. He has 3 years left on his deal, and he's a former 2006 NBA Coach of the Year.
Well, when you try and integrate a major piece into late in the season, it's a tough thing to do.
And don't go anywhere, because Devin George just made it a 5-point game.
I wish they had put him in a little sooner.
Dallas has made their last 9 shots. And George, productive, 11 points coming off of the bench. His best performance in the series. West shot doesn't go. And a chance here with under a minute to go. Don't write him off just yet.
Well, you got Dirk into this ISO. They got to get this clock stopped with some free throws or a wide open 3.
Here's George. Good job by Chandler. Air ball. Knocked out of bounds. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and a great job by Chandler.
They need a timeout. They got to get a timeout to set something up here. 4 seconds on the clock.
And the timeout is taken by Avery Johnson and the Dallas Mavericks. We'll be back right after this. 7/10 of a second remaining here in the fourth quarter of Game 5. Dallas battling to try to bring it back to Dallas for a Game 6, but they trail here.
Well, right now, here's one of those plays you run all during the season to try and get you a quick shot down the stretch, need situation.
Nowitzki in the corner, it's a three, and it doesn't go. Bass on the rim, put back, and it doesn't fall, but he'll head to the free throw line. Dallas, they've outscored New Orleans 25-13 to make it a 5-point game as Bass goes to the stripe.
You know, again, Dirk gets a decent look right there, and then right in here, too bad for him. I mean, that's a shot I'm sure he feels like he could have finished.
And you can see the reaction. Bass has missed just one free throw. The former SEC Player of the Year in this series. And he has 10 points. He has scored double figures now in this series, coming off of the bench 3 times. And he is 6 of 7 from the stripe.
You know, the small lineup has been pretty effective the second half.
With George, Bass, Kidd, Terry, and Nowitzki, and a timeout taken by New Orleans in a one-possession game and 33 seconds remaining.
Well, good. That was good defense by them. Forced the timeout.
We'll take it with them. Both teams have a full timeout. Hornets have a 20. No fouls to get both teams in the penalty in this three-point game with 33.2 of a second remaining. Over the last 5 minutes and 22 seconds, the Mavericks have scored 27 points.
Well, they went this small lineup. Devin George has given them a great lift, and Bass has been big for them the whole half.
And that has all been, as you mentioned, with that small lineup. Since Devin George checked in, it's a three-point game.
Well, right now, they don't have to foul. They just got to get a stop.
Can Dallas steal it? Because that's what this one would be if it comes to that.
And what a momentum change if they do.
Paul up high. You see the shot clock, game clock differential. Chandler sets a screen. Shot clock to 5. Paul. Paul leaves it short, tapped out. Now they have to foul.
The best free throw shooter in the league. Tyson Chandler doing what he has done so well all year long. Offensive rebound, gets him that extra possession.
Chris Paul with a triple-double here in Game 5. 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 15 assists. Following our game, of course, Game 5. Suns and Spurs. 4-point game. What a performance by George Shinn's Hornets here in Game 5, led by Chris Paul. Stojakovic.
Good. These fans know the implications of that. These people are just so ecstatic.
When we return, it'll be time for the Charles Schwab Time to Talk. Not much time for the Mavericks. Triple-double.
Well, so apropos, this guy has been great all year long, MVP candidate. Fans here is hoping that he still pulls that award out of from the NBA.
When you look at what the Dallas Mavericks are able to do with that small lineup, you kind of go, why didn't they implement that maybe a little bit earlier?
Well, you know, Bass has been big all series, been their best player off the bench, best guy big coming in playing pick and rolls, and then Devin George gave him a great look, great look.
All right, now when you look at the New Orleans Hornets and the Dallas Mavericks, Hornets 5.7 of a second left in this contest for Dallas. Not much time in this 99-94 game.
Well, first thing is, do not give up a three-point shot. Let him go to the free throw line, let him go to the rim. Just don't let him make a three.
And a two-possession game. On their feet here in New Orleans. Game 5. Hornets on the brink of moving on to the semis in the Western Conference. Nowitzki. No. That's going to do it. Chris Paul the rebound, and the Hornets take the series from the Dallas Mavericks and advance to the second round of the NBA playoffs. Scott, the NBA Coach of the Year, has led his team through the first round, and now they'll advance to the second round for only the 5th time as an organization and the first time as the New Orleans Hornets. And for the Mavericks, the second consecutive year that they have been knocked out of the NBA Western Conference postseason in the first round. And let's send it over to Pam Oliver, who's standing by with Chris Paul. Pam?
Well, Chris Paul, it turned out it wasn't so easy, but how satisfying was it in the end?
Man, it's great. This feels great to know that we're at the first round. We beat a tough Dallas team, but we showed a lot of poise right here at the end. We let them back in the game, but luckily we pulled it out.
What have you learned about yourselves as a team that you can use in the next round?
No, we're going to fight. We're always going to fight, no matter what the environment is like, especially on the road. We really stick together, and that's what makes this team special.
And finally, everywhere you go in this city, everybody talks about how much they need this victory from the Hornets in this series. I mean, how do you share that with them?
I mean, everything that we've done this year is all about this city. It's about rebuilding the city of New Orleans. The fans have been here for us. They're the reason why we're playing so well, and we appreciate everything they're doing for us.
A little more work to go. Thanks, Chris. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thank you so much, Chris Paul. Yeah, you're right, as they say here in New Orleans. The Hornets win it 99-94. Stay with TNT next as NBA playoff coverage continues in San Antonio as the Spurs host the Phoenix Suns in Game 5 in that series. For Mike Dunleavy, Pam Oliver, and our entire outstanding TNT crew, I'm Matt Devlin. Following a short break, EJ joins you from our Atlanta studios. You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT, exclusive home of the Western Conference Finals.